everybody know today is reading day, and we the students are performing some speech related to reading day. And now I am going to tell first of all I am going to start my speech by saying a famous quote. You can never get a cup of tea large enough or a book long enough to suit me. So now I am going to tell the 6 benefits. Children who read often and widely get better at it. After all, practices make perfect in almost everything humans do, and reading in no difference. Reading exercise our brain. So first I told you the first benefit, and now reading exercise our brain. Reading is a much more complex task for the human brain rather than watching TV. Everybody have a habit of watching television than reading books. But 99% students are reading books. For example, reading strengthens brain connections and builds new connections. Next, I am going to tell you the third benefit. Reading improves concentration. As everybody know that everybody have concentration when they are reading books. Children have to sit still and quietly so that they can focus on the story when they are reading. If they read often, they will develop the skill to do this for longer. Next, I am going to tell you the fourth benefit. Reading is a great way to spend time together. So now I am going to tell that definition. Reading together on the sofa, bedtime stories, and visiting the library are some ways of spending time together. We can read together with the family or friends, etc. Now I am going to tell you the fifth benefit. Children who read also achieve better in school. Reading promotes achievement in all subjects, not just English. Children who are good readers tend to achieve better across the curriculum. Everybody has a talent for reading. Now I am going to tell you the sixth benefit. Reading develops child's imagination. Everybody will read. Everybody read a book. They will have a character imagination. So I am going to explain it to you. As we read, our brains translate the descriptions we read of people, places, and things into pictures. While we are engaged into a story, we are also imagining how a character is feeling. Young children then bring this knowledge into their everyday play. So I am going to ask Sarah, what's your opinion?
Very good opinion. Because one Gamba Lahira said, that's the thing about books. They let you travel without moving your feet. It's very much true. Because when we read the story, we will be traveling with that story and we will be inside that story. We will be part of that story. We will be in the same situation with the characters. If they are happy, we are happy. If they are in a very emotional situation, we are also in the same. And so, I have been experienced so many. I have been to the March family in the book The Little Women. And I have been to so many adventures with Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer in the book Adventures of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, written by Mark Twain. And there are so many expectations, laughters, excitements, emotional, etc. Like how Alice went to her wonderland and how she did there. And so we can take a decision in this reading day. Just take one book and read it and start reading it now. And now what's your opinion on reading books, Avani?
Hello everyone, my opinion on this great day of reading. Reading gives me the luxury of pleasure, understanding, and helps me in incorporating all my thoughts, words, and actions. I love to read. Reading takes us to the world of joy and laughter, and it also improves our language. We should read a lot. Some people make new things and also they learn new things by reading. Reading is necessary for our day-to-day life. Reading is essential for those who seek to rise above the ordinary. So, as today is a reading day, I wish you all a happy reading day.
Hi, my name is Joy Joseph of class 8 of Semi School, Calicut. I'm going to introduce you to the new book, The Da Vinci Code, written by Dan Brown. The elderly curator has been violently murdered at the Grand Gallery, Paris. Harvard professor Robert Langdon is summoned to decipher the baffling codes which the police find alongside the body. As he and a gifted French cryptologist Sophie Neveu sort through the bizarre riddles, they are stunned to find a tree that leads to the works of Leonardo da Vinci and suggests the answer to an age-old mystery that stretches deep into the vault of history. Unless Langdon and Neveu can decipher the labyrinth code and quickly assemble the pieces of the puzzle, a stunning historical truth will be lost forever.
Hello, my name is Afsa Michel and I am studying in Standard 8 of St. Mary's English Medium School. Today I want to tell you about a book I had recently read. It's a book by Agatha Christie. Its title is And Then There Were None. And it talks about 10 strangers who are stranded on Soldier Island, and each of them are accused of murder. One by one, all the guests are murdered, and the living ones need to find out who the murderer is before it's too late. I personally like Agatha Christie a lot. She's one of the best authors in the world and is especially known for her detective stories. And I love reading and I encourage you all to read. It's really nice. It transports you to a whole new world inside the book. And I would like to end with a quote by Abraham Lincoln. It goes, "A good friend is a person who gives me a book that I have not yet read." Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm Haya, Shamlak. Today I'm going to say the summary of one of my favorite books, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling. Well, the summary starts like this. Harry Potter, a young wizard, starts off his third year at Hogwarts School. While he reaches school, he realizes that Sirius Black, a murderer and the follower of Lord Voldemort, is after him. On his first ever donation class, Professor Trelawney sees a bad omen of death in his tea leaves. But perhaps the most terrifying is the Dementors, who patrols all around the school ground. And I request you all to read this book, which is thrilling and it's having a huge climax and it's really fantastic. Bye! Hi, I'm Darshini of 8A, St. Mary's English Medium School. Today I'm going to say the book review of Black Beauty. Black Beauty is written by Anna Swell. The book is an autobiography from the point of view of the horse named Black Beauty. The first part of the book deals with the beauty's birth in the meadow. His time was spent as a young horse with his mother, and the advice she gives him to behave well, to be treated well. Then he was sold to Squire Gordon, who was horse lover and cares very well for his animal. Here he meets the grooms, John Manley, James Howard, who was loving, neat and efficient.
Hey guys, my name is Rasheen of class 8A, and today I'm going to be presenting a brief summary of the book titled The Fault in Our Stars. First of all, the name The Fault in Our Stars is derived from one of Shakespeare's plays, Julius Caesar, Act 1, Scene 2, in which the nobleman Cassius tells Brutus, "The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings." This novel, written by John Green, is about a girl named Hazel Grace Lancaster, a 16-year-old who has thyroid cancer which has affected her lungs. Forced to a support group meeting by her parents, she meets Augustus Waters, an ex-basketball playing 17-year-old who has lost one of his legs due to osteokarma. This #1 New York Times bestseller is melancholy, sweet, philosophical and humorous, and it stays its course of tragic realism. And as Neil Gaiman once said, a book is a dream that you can hold in your hands. So keep dreaming, keep praying. Thank you.
Hello guys, my name is Golvika and I'm an 8th of St. Mary's English Medium School. As you all know, today is reading day. So I'm here to tell you the review of the book Wings of Fire. Wings of Fire is the autobiography of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. This book was originally published in 1999. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and Arun Tiwari has written this book. Then in this book, APJ Abdul Kalam examines his early life, fortune, luck, and which eventually led into Indian space, missiles and nuclear programs. Thank you.
Everyone, I'm Shamlak of class 8A. So here I'm going to say the book review of Tenali Raman or the CLL Jayaprada. So The Wit of Tenali Raman by Devika Rakancheri. The Wit of Tenali Raman is a collection of stories about Tenali Raman from his childhood when he was in the court of Krishna Deva. After the loss of his father, Raman and his mother moved with Raman's uncle in the native of Tenali. Tenali Raman is an indulgent guy and a rebel leader who is fighting a battle against Mamanar, the king who has no time for his people and is controlled by his corrupt ministers. The king with 36 wives and 52 children believes his 9 ministers and Navamantras. Soon Tenali Raman is able to infiltrate into the court and is able to charm the king with his all-round talent including singing, dancing, sharp wit and amazing scenes of humor. Meanwhile, other ministers escort out the Chinese who want to take over the kingdom and expand their market. Tenali Raman comes to the king, reveals the weather he does it single-handedly from the rest of the story.
Hi guys, I'm Lakshmi Pradeep of class 8 of St. Mary's English Medium School, Calicut. As you all know, today is reading day. First of all, I'm going to talk about reading books. There are many benefits of reading books. Reading like it improves our knowledge, it improves our language, etc. And now I'm going to introduce you about the book Rip Van Winkle by Washington Irving. The character of this story is Rip Van Winkle. It is a story of a colonial Dutch-American villager who falls asleep in the Catskill Mountains for 20 years, who goes hunting in the Catskill to escape his nagging wife. When he goes for this, he encounters the spirit of Henry Hudson and his crew before falling into a deep slumber. When he wakes up after a deep slumber, he finds that the American Revolution has been won, and he finds that no one recognizes him. Only his friend Peter Vanderdonk recognizes him, and he knows that his wife is dead, and he returns to Idling with his daughter. Now I'm stopping this video by telling a quote by Gilbert K. Chesterton that a room without books is like a body without a soul. I repeat, a room without book is like a body without a soul. Thank you.